The girl peered through the peephole and was horrified to see her friend tied to a chair, her tongue clamped tightly with pliers, leaving her completely unable to resist. The figure in a black robe picked up a sharp knife and brutally sliced the woman's tongue off. The terrifying scene sent chills down Laura's spine. She was utterly stunned. Never had she imagined that the elder of the monastery harbored such twisted perversions. But before she could run, the abbess suddenly rushed out and clamped a hand over Laura's mouth. She warned Laura not to speak a word about what she had just seen, or she would suffer the exact same fate as her friend. Faced with the abbess's threat, Laura fell into complete despair. To escape alive, she drenched herself in blood, disguising herself as a woman about to give birth. The disturbing sight left the monastery elders shocked. Without stopping to think, they hurriedly escorted Laura to the hospital to deliver the baby. Along the way, Laura pretended to be in agony, wailing non-stop. Judging from the elder's frantic expression, the child in her belly was very likely his. Meanwhile, back at the monastery, the abbess behaved strangely. Holding the blood-soaked sheets, she inhaled deeply with a ravenous hunger. Having long been accustomed to the scent of human blood, she immediately sensed something was wrong. The blood on the sheets wasn't human. Lowering her head, the abbess spotted a tuft of feathers. She bent down to look under the bed and found a tightly wrapped bundle. When she pulled it out, she discovered it was a dead crow. Realizing something was terribly wrong, she understood Laura had deceived them. At the same time, Laura continued pretending to be in pain, but the elder suddenly received a phone call from the abbess. Once he learned the truth, he glared at Laura with murderous fury. Everything was over. Desperate to survive, Laura threw herself out of the car and ran with all her strength. But being 8 months pregnant, she couldn't outrun 2 strong men. She was quickly captured, doomed to face a fate far worse than death. Soon, Laura was dragged back to the monastery and strapped tightly to a chair with leather belts. She tried to break free, but at that moment the elder walked in. Before Laura could beg, he pushed her into a room filled with containers holding fetuses. This was the result of 20 years of trials and errors. They intended to create a baby comparable to God himself, and now the child in Laura's womb was their only success. Once Laura understood everything, the elder pulled a glowing hot crucifix from the furnace. The desperate Laura tried to resist, but the next second he pressed the burning cross against her foot. The smell of searing flesh filled the air, and Laura passed out. When she awoke, both of her feet had been branded with the cross, but to survive, she endured the agony, crawled off the wheelchair, and pounded madly on the door. Yet no one responded. Soon, her abdomen swelled to the extreme. She was about to give birth. On the day of the examination, Laura mustered her courage and struck the abbess's head with a fatal blow. But just as she was about to escape, her water suddenly broke.